Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim. Assalamu alaikum everyone. Welcome for a new lesson for the second secondary for the first semester, and today we have reading, vocabulary and grammar from your book The Traveler 3. So let's get started first with the objectives. So we will learn today 1. Practice in using previously taught nouns and adjectives in context. 2. Familiarize with the use of similes. And number 3, introduce vocabulary related to natural disasters. So number 1, we're going to remember how we use nouns and adjectives, how we make nouns and adjectives. Number 2, we're going to learn about similes, what are similes. And number 3, introduce vocabulary related to natural disasters. So we will learn some new vocabulary related to nature and problems that are caused by nature. So if we start with the first one, if you take a look at this tough hero, he's showing his muscles, and here is written hero, and people admire him a lot and clap for him. So if we ask, why is he a hero? If you take a look at this picture, why is he a hero? Or we can say, what do you think the heroic actions or action he did? So if we say this man is a hero, you always say why. This guy could be an athlete, so maybe he won some competition or a match, or he made a world record. He could be a boxer, he could be a football player, he could be someone who won some medal, so everybody admires him, and he maybe finished number 1 and clap for him, so he is a hero. If we move on to talk about heroes, let's take a look at this picture and look at this man. He is a father, and this is his son in his arms. So this great father has a heroic story. So he did something great while he saved his son. Let's read and find out why this father is a hero. In one incredible story, Andy Clemens saved his 4-year-old child after he got stuck under a huge bookcase. When the earthquake began, Mr. Clemens told reporters, the bookcase started shaking, the tremors quickly increased, and the bookcase shook more and more violently. Suddenly it fell over and Tommy got stuck under it. I could see that he could not breathe. The bookcase was so heavy, I don't know how I did it. I wasn't thinking, I just lifted with all my strength and he crawled out. Did his father have superpowers? It seems that his love for his child was his strength. So as you see, there was an earthquake, and an earthquake is when the earth starts to shake. And when the earth starts to shake, there was an earthquake. A bookcase full of books fell over Tommy, this little boy. And the father quickly ran to the bookshelf and lifted up with all his powers. He doesn't know how he did it, but his love for his child helped him a lot. So when he lifted up the heavy bookcase, little Tommy crawled out, and the father grabbed him and saved his life. So, what did the father exactly do? The father lifted up a very heavy bookcase and helped his little Tommy, or his little child, to crawl out of the heavy bookcase. So the word crawl out or crawled out, what does it exactly mean? When you are maybe 7 month old, okay, you start to crawl. You can't walk, so you crawl on the floor. It's like you put your knees and your elbows together and started to crawl. And then you start to stand up, and then you start to walk. So if we have some sample answers for these. So the father, he saved his 4-year-old child after he got stuck under a huge bookcase, and the word crawled out means moved on hands and knees. Now for the vocabulary, we have something about natural disasters. The natural disasters are many. It could be a volcano, it could be a hurricane, it could be an earthquake, or an avalanche. Also, we have storms, we have rains, we have snows, we have too many natural disasters, and these natural disasters are caused by, most of the time they come all the time, and or they come on certain places. So like volcanoes, when you have a mountain or little mountain and it explodes, and there's a lot of fire and smoke coming out of it. And for the hurricane, it's a crazy storm with strong wind, rain, and sometimes you have swirls. So this is the hurricane. And as for the earthquake, it's just like what happened with the father and Tommy. The earth started to shook, and we heard about too many earthquakes that come when the earth becomes unstable and things started to fall. The ground starts to crack. This is called an earthquake. And for the avalanche, it's most of the time at mountains that are full of snow. So because of there's too much snow, the snow starts to fall and roll down, to the valley, or roll down in general. So we have avalanche, earthquake, hurricane, and volcano. We need to put these words here in the boxes, in the green box. So where are the words in each column related to? Let's put them in their place. Is this earthquake here, hurricane here, volcano here? We'll see. So choose the appropriate headings from the words in a box. So if you have these words that can describe one of these, shake, Richter, this Richter, if you have something, there is, the Richter tells you it draws some kind of lines or waves to tell you how strong it was, and collapse. In the second column, you have erupt, explosion, and lava, blow, wind, storm, and finally snow, rock, and ice. So what is it the thing that shake, and we measure it on Richter, and it collapses? Is it avalanche? Is it earthquake? Is it hurricane or volcano? And what is it the thing that erupt and it explodes with fire and smoke, and you have this crawling lava, a very, very hot, thick, almost liquid like, and it burns, and blow like wind and storm and snow, rock, and ice. So once you have the word shake, it's of course we have earthquake here because the earth shakes and we measure it on Richter, and houses collapse, the earth cracks. And for number 2, something that explodes and has smoke and lava and fire, it's a volcano, so volcano goes for here. And something that has crazy strong winds and there's a crazy storm, so we call it, this is a hurricane. And finally for the avalanche, of course we put it here, too much snow and rocks and ice falls from the top of mountain. So here are the answers for you. So earthquake, when the earth shakes and we measure it on Richter, houses collapse. And also for the volcano explodes and erupts and also started to throw lava, which is fire. hurricane, a crazy strong wind blows, and a storm comes sometimes with rain, and sometimes it pulls out trees and destroy houses and cars. And finally, the avalanche, when too much snow and rock or ice, they fall from the top of a mountain and roll down. And all of these avalanche, hurricane, volcano, earthquake are natural disasters, okay? And sometimes these natural disasters have killed too many people and destroyed too many places and cities. Now, if we move on to something a little bit more interesting about adjectives. So once you need to describe people, you have to use an adjective for them. So what are the adjectives? If you take a look at this picture, this man is walking while he's asleep. So we call him sleepwalker. This man is ugly. This guy is so much surprised. He's angry here. And here he wants to eat. He's very hungry. And here he's tired. And finally he's in a hurry. So we have a sleepwalker, ugly, surprised, angry, hungry, tired, and in a hurry. So we can describe these people using these adjectives. He is ugly. He is surprised. He is angry. And he's hungry. And here he's tired. And here he's in a hurry. So if we go and talk about adjectives, as you can see this boy, we use them to describe people. So what is the way to change a noun from adjective, or to take an adjective or to take a noun from an adjective? So how we change noun into adjective and vice versa. So many adjectives are formed by adding a suffix at the end here, 2 or 3 letters at the end, FUL, YOUS, IC, ICAL, to a noun. So you have a noun, you can add at the end of the noun one of these letters, okay? Just put one of these letters at the end of the noun and it becomes an adjective. So we have a noun, okay, we put a suffix. The suffix should go here at the end of the word. What do we put here? We take this, we put it here. We may take this, we put it here, and this or this, and we put it here. So when we put these suffixes at the end, it becomes an adjective. Here is an example. Of course, we can't put this anywhere. You have to memorize and learn that each one of these go to certain nouns. So let's take an example. Luck, it's a noun. You need luck to survive, in a match. For example, this is luck. It's a noun. How do we change this word noun, or how do we change this luck as a noun into an adjective? We add a suffix which is only one letter at the end, Y. So luck, it becomes lucky. He is lucky. Some people are lucky. Okay, so now it has become an adjective. And also remember, many nouns here are formed by adding the suffix NESS to an adjective. Okay, so this is the opposite of what we said. If you have an adjective, and if you want to make this adjective back into a noun, sometimes you have to add NESS as a suffix, or as a suffix which is at the end of the adjective. So noun, it becomes an adjective. So luck, lucky. Strength, it's a noun. Strong, see, you changed the E into O and we deleted the last 2 letters and it becomes strength, it's a noun. Strong is an adjective. Calmness, it's a noun. Calm, is an adjective. Power is a noun. Powerful is an adjective. Courage is a noun. Courageous is an adjective. Intelligence is a noun. Intelligent is an adjective. Hero is a noun. Heroic is an adjective. Myth is a noun. Mythical is a adjective, or is an adjective. So let's try to make sentences and see the differences between a noun and an adjective. Okay, let's take the word strength. Okay, so if I ask you to give me a sentence, use the word strength in a sentence as a noun. So we say what? Boxers, those who play boxing, boxers have too much strength. So boxers have too much strength. And if you want to use the word strength in a sentence as an adjective, so you can say Muhammad Ali was a strong boxer. Muhammad Ali was a strong boxer. So here you can say boxers have too much strength, and here it's a noun. And here Muhammad Ali is a strong boxer. Here strong is an adjective. Here is a nice exercise here. Complete the sentences using the correct form of the words. So we have words here in the red, like myth. It's a noun. Intelligence, noun. Power, noun. Strong is a noun. And courage is a noun. So what we're going to do here, we take the word myth as a noun and put it here as an adjective. So here you have to change it into an adjective. So complete the sentences, use the correct form of the words. Okay. Number one. The story was about dragons and other myth creatures. No, we need an adjective for creatures here. So we take myth as a noun and change it into adjective. How we change from a noun into an adjective? And for the word myth, it becomes mythical. That's the adjective from myth. So the story was about dragons and other mythical creatures. Number two, Afaf is a hardworking and intelligent student. Intelligence here is a noun, and we need an adjective for student. So Afaf is a hardworking and intelligent student. Number three, Saudi Arabia is a big and power country. No, we need a good adjective here for the country, for Saudi Arabia. So we say Saudi Arabia is a big and powerful country. 4. This is an exercise that will build up the strength of your muscles. No, this is an exercise that will build up the strength of your muscles. Sorry. 5. Jabber is a courageous 10-year-old boy. We need an adjective from this. Jabber is a courageous 10-year-old boy who saved his best friend from a burning building. So let's see the answers. The story was about dragons and other mythical creatures. Afaf is a hardworking and intelligent student. 3. Saudi Arabia is a big and powerful country. 4. This is an exercise that will build up the strength of your muscles. 5. Jabber is a courageous 10-year-old boy who saved his best friend from a burning building. Now, if we move on to the final part of our lesson today, which is the simile. What is the simile? Maybe your teacher will ask you in a test, or maybe you read some poetry or some poems, and you find these are full of similes. Very simple. Similes are used in every language, especially in literature. So you can have an example here. The night was as black as coal. The night was as black as coal. 2. The paper is as light as a feather. Then, the ocean was a raging bull. Her eyes shone like stars in the night sky. So these are simile examples. So what are similes? Similes are phrases which include the words as or like and are used to make comparisons. So most of the time, if you have the word like or as, it means there's a simile and a comparison between something here and you have as in the middle and something after it. Or you may have the word like and you have a comparison before it and you compare it with something after it. For example here, the night as black as coal. So the night was very dark like coal. You know coal, when you burn some wood, you need coal to make coffee, you need coal to warm up in the winter. So this is a simile. He compared here, the night was very dark or very black like a coal, a black thing that we use it for grills or for barbecues and other things. The paper, as light as feather. You know, if you have a paper, it's very light, like a feather, very light. Just blow it and it floats. The ocean was a raging bull. So the ocean, there was a storm, there were high waves, so it was raging, was angry, like a bull. And finally, her eyes shone like stars in the night sky. So she has big, wide eyes and beautiful eyes, and they were shining. They were making light out of them, like the stars in the sky. So these are the similes. Use like, as or was, as, and as here to make comparisons. Let's match the two halves of the similes here. So let's say if you want to say this paper is as light as what? As a wolf, as a bee, as a mouse, as a sheet, as a bird, as a feather, as gold, as lightning. Think about it. The paper was as light as a feather. Okay, or as light as a feather. Number 2, as quiet, as quiet as a wolf? No. As a bee? No. As a mouse? Yes, maybe. Okay, so as quiet as a mouse. You know, mouse are very, or mice are very, quiet. As good as what? As gold? As free as a bird? As white as a, sheet? As hungry as a wolf? As quick as lightning? Or as busy as a bee? Let's find the answers. So, as light as a feather, as quiet as a mouse, as good as gold, as free as a bird, as white as a sheet of paper, as hungry as a wolf, and as quick as lightning, and as busy as a bee. So let's remember what did we do today. So what we have learned today was about adjectives, and we form adjectives by adding 2, 1, 3 letters at the end of the noun. It becomes an adjective, like full, YOUSICICAL, to a noun, and it becomes adjective. On the other hand, many nouns are formed by adding the suffix ness, like calm, calmness, okay, and to an adjective. Also, remember the word crawl out when you move on your hands and your knees like babies in 7 or 8 months. Similes, we just talked about them. They're phrases or words which include the words as or like and are used to make comparisons. If I tell you, think about some simile and give me a sentence using the word as or like to make a comparison, and you make a simile. He was as quick as a tiger. Okay? He was as quick as a tiger. So you compare how quick he is to tigers, because tigers are very quick. So such things we call them similes. And we talked about natural disasters like earthquake, when the earth shakes, volcanoes, when fire comes out of a mountain, and the hurricane, when you have strong wind, and finally the avalanche, rocks and snow roll down from a mountain. Here are the references and the resources for you if you want to have some extra activity. And finally, for more information and lessons, you have the website. You can follow us on Twitter, and you have 24/7 number. Until I see you again, inshallah, I wish you happy times and salam alaikum.